If you're planning on going away this year or next year, this is really important for you. Because the last time I went away, a good mate of mine got stung with a massive phone bill, and I don't want that to happen to any of you. And with Saily, it never will. All you've got to do is click the link in the description below, choose the amount of data and time frame that suits your trip, and then you just install the eSIM on your phone, and when you land at your destination, you will activate your plan instantly. And with Saily, you won't get those massive phone bills when you're away. You won't have to log into the hotel Wi-Fi, and then you get no connection until you get your next destination. You will be well connected wherever you are. So even if you're not going away for a few months, download it now so it's ready there. You will thank me later. And with my code, you're going to get a really cheap deal. Go to saily.com/paingame and you'll get 15% off your first purchase, which is going to make this super cheap. So enjoy Saily, enjoy the great connectivity, enjoy the good price, and enjoy your holiday. And even if you're not going away till next summer, do it now because you're supporting the channel. Cheers. Welcome back to the Pain Game. Today we are watching the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua face-off. And even now, that just feels mental to even say those words. This is without doubt the craziest fight of my lifetime. We thought Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury was a bit crazy. That is nothing compared to how mental this is. We got Jake Paul, who did really well to come from influencer boxing and go against legit fighters like MMA's Nate Diaz, Anderson Silva. He got wins over both of them. He then even fought a former boxing world champion in Cesar Chavez Jr. He's done really well considering where people thought he was at one point. And I think we can all say, yeah, you're a legit boxer now. You are a boxer. No one can take that away from him. But obviously those guys were 170 pounds, 185 pounds once upon a time, Anderson Silva. We're talking about a titan in Anthony Joshua here. As heavyweight fighters go, athletically, he is the creme de la creme. And he only knows fighting heavyweights. He made light work of the monster that is Francis Ngannou. He knocked out Vladimir Klitschko, one of the better boxers in heavyweight history. He went 24 rounds with Alexander Usyk, man. Like, people overlook that because he didn't win the fight. He actually performed really well in that second fight. Arguably the best that anyone did against Usyk. But in that last fight against Daniel Dubois, Jake Paul has seen enough the way he thinks, you know what, I've got a chance. And while a lot of people don't agree and don't believe, clearly for Jake Paul to sign on the dotted line, there is some belief. The question is, how much? And in today's face-off, we're going to really look into this and say, how confident are you really, mate? And actually, what's AJ's demeanor like? Because this is weird. Is he taking this seriously? Is he going to be complacent to a point where he might get caught? Let's take a look.
Do you feel better coming in at 245 than ever?
I do. I feel great.
Yeah.
I'm blessed. I feel happy that this task was put upon me because I wouldn't have pushed myself to get to a certain weight. I would have just been doing what I do usually.
Right.
And I feel really good. So I think it was a blessing in disguise.
You think you lined them up? Think that was very smart of y'all to get him down to 245?
Yeah, no, I don't agree with the decision or on his behalf. You know, like, he's taking away his best thing against me, which is his power. And we've seen him when he's a little bit lighter and there's just not as much thump on the punches. And I think that's probably the best thing he could have had is that extra oomph in those punches. But it's his game plan, whatever he wants. But to me, the weight doesn't matter. The weight's not going to make a difference. It's going to be the skills that win this fight, and I believe my skills are better than his, which is a crazy thing to say, but he's a very basic fighter and he's gotten to where he's at because of the size and because of the power. So the skills are what's going to win this fight, and he's seen that with Usyk when he fought him, and so I believe it's going to be very similar to that.
Whoa. I rate how calm he is saying this. I mean, it really is coming out like very natural, not something that he is trying to convince anyone of. It's as if he completely believes everything he's saying, and maybe there's shreds of truth in there that's enough for him to say that with full confidence. Let's just reverse this a little bit. The weight. Anthony Joshua is coming in at 245 pounds, so that there's a reasonable amount of weight between them and not enormous amount of weight between them. Because Anthony Joshua's frame, this guy could be 270 if he wanted quite easily. Will that make a difference? I don't think that it makes a difference what size, 245, 270, AJ obviously should be the favorite, right? But I think that Jake Paul misinterprets the difference between the two fighters in terms of physically. Jake Paul may weigh 215, 220 when he steps through those ropes. Anthony Joshua might weigh 245. That's 20 pounds, 25 pounds difference, right? Which is about 10% of their body weight. So in theory, if you're just to look at this really basically, you could go, well, he's 10% bigger, therefore you'll have 10% more power. This is very wrong, because in life, you get people who are special. For example, there'll be a guy who's 185 pounds and another guy who's 185 pounds, and there'll just be one of those guys will just be insanely more strong for no explainable reason, because just pound for pound, he's been blessed with just natural genetics. AJ is like that, but on a huge scale. His 245 pound frame can operate at a level that's as strong as a 300 pound man. You look at the way he's built. I met this guy. He's so tall, long armed. He's built like almost like an Olympic swimmer. He's a freak athlete. Jake Paul at 220, yeah, he carries a bit of body fat. He's quite a muscular guy, but he's certainly not shredded and like a hulking physique. Anthony Joshua, tiny little waist, massive shoulders, long arms, huge arms. It's like he's been custom made for a fucking smashing machine. So like at 245, will he be slightly less strong? Yeah, maybe. Will it matter? Absolutely fucking not. And another thing it'll do is it'll make him quicker. And what might surprise Jake Paul, he's coming in here thinking, I'm 220, you're 245. I gotta be the quicker guy. I'm the smaller guy. I've gotta be quicker. I don't think you will be, because speed isn't just about size. It's about fast twitch fibers and things like that. Like if you look at like Usain Bolt, for example, 6'4", big guy, the fastest man in history. It's not just about size. It's about a lot of little things going on inside the body, and Anthony Joshua has them all. He is so special as an athlete, and I actually don't think he gets the credit he deserves for how he's looked after his body and how finely tuned of an athlete he is.
Now I teamed up with Team Usyk to improve my skills as well. So we got
as you should. You definitely needed to change coaches.
And we got skills as well.
You definitely needed to change coaches. So I'm glad.
Jake just like instantly biting on AJ and letting him know, like, I'm not gonna just sit here in awe of you. I'm gonna let you know all the mistakes you've made, which I admire. He's not acting intimidated in any way here.
What about his skills tells you that you're a better skill fighter than him?
Yeah, he's just
fucking Olympic gold medalist, dog.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, he's been doing it for a long time, and he's great. And if you get caught with that one punch, or obviously he has a lot of power punches. If you get caught, of course, he's gonna defeat you. But I don't believe he can land those punches, and he lands them on the bigger, slower guys who are sitting right in front of him. Everyone's like, "Did you see Francis Ngannou? What he did to Francis Ngannou?" It's like the guy's feet stuck in mud. He's just sitting there, didn't do anything, and just got fucking nailed with a big ass shot. So yeah, if I get hit with that shot, I'm screwed. But I don't believe he's gonna hit me with those shots.
Oh God, I appreciate it. I appreciate the confidence, and I like there's some semblance of logic here. I'm a smaller guy. I should be able to move around the ring and make it hard for you to hit me. I get why he's saying those things. He's got to draw from something, right? We can't complain at that. My opinion, I don't think Anthony Joshua will find it too tricky to hit Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul does try and cover up quite well. He gets his hands up, but I've sparred smaller guys before, and when you've got a big reach and their head's a little lower, and some people find this harder, granted, if you get a real like elite level skillful guy. We've seen what Alexander Usyk can do with bigger guys, but like, let's be real here. How many people are Alexander Usyk? Generally speaking, their head is just so perfectly on a plate for you to nail that jab in the fucking forehead. It makes life easier, especially when you've got way longer arms than them, especially when your steps, you can take giant steps towards them, and their feet they're scrambling, they're in panic mode, and it's really hard to get the fuck out of the way of someone with the length of arm that Anthony Joshua has, especially with how quick he is. Usyk made it look quite easy. Yeah, Usyk makes a lot of things look easy.
So do you think that you have to knock him out early to prove to people this is what I do and this is what he doesn't do?
To a degree, yeah.
All right.
If I'm going to answer short, straight to the point, 100% I agree with what the people are saying. I have to go in there, stomp all over him, inflict pain, and land that right hand that he says is my only weapon.
I like the way AJ's talking here. Obviously, we would expect him to be confident, but it is a noticeable shift from the way AJ spoke ahead of the Daniel Dubois fight, which felt a bit more nervous energy, and rightly so. He knew what the fuck he was going in there with. He knew there was danger. He is speaking right now how his fans want him to speak. I'm going to destroy this guy.
Is this just a money grab for you?
It's everything.
Okay.
Ever since I come into the game, I clock the hustle. Mm-hmm. That's how I manage I'm not a YouTuber, a social media expert. I'm a fighter first and foremost, but I understood how to navigate my way through this industry. And from day one, I know how to make money. Before I come into boxing, I knew how to make money. So it's always been a money grab.
AJ respects that shit. When I met AJ, ironically, like, he knows the YouTube thing's going on. He's aware of everything. And his first words were, from one hustler to another, good to meet you, mate. He appreciates hard work. And I don't think he's disrespecting Jake and what he's saying here. I know Jake Paul hates being called a YouTuber at this point. That's what this fight's all about. Respect. I'm not a YouTuber anymore. I'm fighting the fucking former heavyweight champion of the world. Jake Paul isn't going to like that.
Neither the fuck am I. At the end of the day.
But hold on, Jake, real quick. A lot of people try to label you as that. You know what I'm
because
saying?
they have low IQ. Like, humans try to put people into boxes, and since I don't fit into any box, they try to keep me in one area or another. I'm all things. I'm an entrepreneur first. I'm a venture capitalist. I'm an influencer. I make Instagram posts. I'm a boxer. I'm a CEO, founder of Most Valuable Promotions.
Right.
I'm all of these things. I'm a man of Jesus.
Fucking hell, son. That's some CV, like. And I think him saying low IQ, people call me a YouTuber, it shows how frustrated he is to still have that tag.
And I get why on paper, people would look at this fight and say, oh my God, Jake's going to die. He's dead, 1 round, etc.
Yep.
But that's what I'm here to do. That's why I love it. Like, I have the world cornered. I have him exactly where I want. I have the boxing community exactly where I want. And when I beat him next Friday, it's the gonna be me, the one that's fucking laughing.
You got to give credit to the way the kid's talking, man. Like, he's got no business to be speaking like this, right? He has not come anywhere near achieving anything, even in the realm of knocking out a guy who's even remotely close to the level of Anthony Joshua, let alone AJ himself. But the way he subverts the whole thing and goes, you think I'm the one in trouble? You lot, I've got you all where I want you right now. I'm the one who's the puppet master here. And I'm going to be the one laughing when I fuck your whole world up. And as much as people can say that's absolute lunacy, I think Jake understands that the only way he can have a prayer of doing anything good in this fight, even whether winning is even beyond the realms of possibility, to just even look good, there needs to be mental strength coming in here. If he is afraid and he is acting scared in any way, and Anthony Joshua smells that, there's a reason he's got a fucking lion tattooed on him, Anthony Joshua. He is a predator. He can't show any weakness whatsoever if he wants to even have any good performance here. So I give him credit for some mental strength. And look, I give him credit for showing the balls to sign on the dotted line, even if he is getting paid a shitload. He already had a shitload of money. This is a very dangerous fucking situation he's putting himself in.
When you watch Jake Paul, what do you see as far as a boxer is concerned? And do you think that you're in any danger whatsoever?
I see someone who is trying to perfect his skills, someone who is trying to perfect his boxing skills. So in boxing, you have fighters that box at long distance, mid distance, short range. Some fighters that brawl, some fighters that walk forward like Pitbull, that come forward with their hands up. Jake's trying to become a boxer, and I respect it. I think that's probably one of the hardest styles to perfect.
Right.
You know, hit, be slick, not get hit, look for that knockout punch. And he's taking the hard road doing it that way, because most people will go into a gym and just try fight. But Jake's taking that road to try and be a good boxer, and I respect it. Now he's gonna come up against someone who took that road as well when I first went in the gym, tried to perfect my boxing skills, and still standing on that today.
Right.
So I'm maybe 17, 18 years as a fighter now that's been trying to perfect my boxing skills. So he's going to come against someone who's been doing exactly what he's doing for a lot longer.
Let's just deep that. What are you, 5 years into your journey? I'm 18 years into this journey. And by the way, I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you. And I think Anthony Joshua is being quite polite there in not disrespecting his opponent and trying to show him like, okay, I don't want to say that you're shit or anything, but I'm levels up the ladder, man. I've done all the things that you're doing now, and I did them over a decade ago. In fact, a decade ago, he was fighting for professional titles. And that 18 years experience should make it very easy when you consider the type of matchups Anthony Joshua has been in, trying to figure out Alexander Usyk. It should make it so simple for him. When he watches Jake Paul, he should see holes left, right, and center and be able to go, right, this is what we're going to do. It should be really straightforward for him to see any weaknesses in Jake Paul's game.
AJ, do you think Jake is on your level whatsoever?
No. No.
No, okay.
Respectfully. Because it's clear. If I say yes, I'm going to be lying to myself, and I can't lie to myself. It's not that he can't compete,
Right.
but when you talk about, for example, music, how many albums I've put out, how many mixtapes I've put out, he just hasn't got the body of work I've got in boxing.
Straight facts. And it's not just the body of work, it's also the talent, the thing that's God-given. Jake Paul wasn't born 6'6" and, walking around 250 pounds. If Jake Paul was really trying to do this professional, climbing the rankings, fighting at his actual weight, what his real fighting weight, when he's shredded, he would be fighting light heavyweight. He would not even be a cruiserweight. You see how thick he is as a cruiserweight. The only reason he's been able to get away with that, no disrespect, is because he's been fighting guys who were naturally even smaller than him, and he's brought them up to a weight that they are just not able to hang with him at, because at that weight he's got a decent bit of power. He can outbox them. He's younger than them. But Jake Paul has no business being in a heavyweight fight against a ranked guy. He's not a heavyweight. He's not even a cruiserweight. And I think he's going to feel that reality very, very quickly, because that power difference is a fucking game changer.
Why do you seem so confident about him? I know you talked about a little bit about it earlier, but why him?
Yeah, look, I see, obviously he's an amazing fighter, but styles make fights. And I think simply the way that our styles match up and what I know I can do to him and the shots that I know I can land on him, I know that I'm going to be able to go in there and shock the world. And that's why I called him up and made this fight happen, because I believe in myself and believe in my style matching up with his.
To a degree, there may be truth in that. Who knows? But one thing I do think has really been the thing that's got Jake Paul going, you know what? Fuck it. This is the guy. Americans have this impression of Anthony Joshua that he doesn't like it rough. There's a weakness in the chin. This stems back to the Andy Ruiz fight, where it was his first big fight in America and he got humbled in front of the world. And it's been further reinforced by Daniel Dubois knocking Anthony Joshua out. However, when you look at those fights, right, Andy Ruiz Jr. has got some of the fastest hands in the heavyweight division. Really, really ferocious puncher. Daniel Dubois is one of the hardest hitting heavyweights in the world right now, maybe the hardest. And both of them dropped Anthony Joshua 3 or 4 times, even before Dubois knocked them out at the end. AJ didn't just go out. AJ didn't just give up in either of those fights. He actually showed he had a chin. Yeah, his recovery ability in order to maybe start fighting to his full potential again was an issue there. But this idea, I think, that Anthony Joshua has a weak chin is one of the biggest myths in boxing. And if anything, he really nearly came back and knocked out Daniel Dubois before he got caught. And maybe if he left it another round or two to get his feet back underneath him a bit better, maybe that fight would have ended differently. And remember, these are two of the most ferocious punchers in boxing. Jake Paul is not that. He went to a decision with Cesar Chavez Jr., who, is a bit of a shot fighter, if I'm being honest. Anderson Silva, he went to a decision. Nate Diaz went to a decision. These are guys that their heads, their shoulders, they're significantly smaller than Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has been getting hit of big lumps his whole fucking career and has showed resilience, in my opinion. I think this belief in Anthony Joshua's chin won't stand up to Jake Paul. That's even quite a lot of Americans and a lot of people I'm seeing are saying he does have a chance here. And look, everyone who steps through the ropes has a chance. I get that. But I think Jake Paul is going to be frustrated when he realizes, if he does manage to even land any shots, which I think is, I don't even know if he's going to, really. I think AJ will take those shots comfortably.
AJ, we seen Jake sparring some really, really big dudes in preparation for this fight.
Yeah.
How would that differ from when you fight him on Fight Night on Netflix this Friday, December 19th?
It won't be much different. I think he done well bringing in the right sparring partners. It shows his intent, his focus, his team, what they're trying to do and getting ready for people that come close and throw hooks, and like Sanchez, someone like a Coley who boxes at distance, Anderson who's awkward, and maybe other people that we haven't even seen. But I think it'll be good preparation for the real thing on Friday.
A lot of people I know are claiming that these sparring sessions that we've seen with Jake Paul and these high-level heavyweight fighters, that they're fake, they're set up, they're just for pictures or whatever. Who knows? But let's just say Jake has been sparring those guys. I think that would be a great idea. I seen he had a black eye. Apparently, he got that off Okoli. Not surprised. Okoli, big dude, similar sort of frame, Anthony Joshua. Obviously, it won't be the same because there'll be big gloves on in sparring, head guard on in sparring. We're taking the head guard off. We're making small fucking gloves. The guy who's standing in front of you is just better than Lawrence Okoli. Way better. The explosive punches that Anthony Joshua has in his repertoire. Yeah, Okoli, I think, is a good person to get in there with and move around with for sure. But it's just going to be a whole new world. It's going to be that and then some.
You was well into training for Tank before this fight got canceled. Was it much different for training for him, or did you carry some of that training into the fight for him?
No, it was definitely different. I essentially just flipped roles. But what was unique about it is me being able to use the tricks that the little guys were doing to me against the bigger guys in sparring. And so it was really a 180, but I was able to use some of the things that they were doing against me. Right. But really just had to start doing some more strength workouts and get some weight back up just with eating. But the way I see this sport is a quick audible, and quarterbacks in the NFL face different teams every single week, and they have to adjust to different defenses, and boxing is no different.
I've heard a few people say that if fighting Tank would have been worse for Jake Paul, Tank may have made him look silly, made him miss and such. Let me just make this perfectly clear. Fighting Tank would have been way better. When Jake Paul's 200 pounds and he's in there with a guy who usually fights at 135, Tank's ability to hurt Jake Paul, it was really up for debate. We've seen Logan against Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather struggled to hurt Logan Paul, and a lot of people say he carried him. He was in the fucking corner saying to his coaches, I can't hit him with the jab. He's just so fucking big and long. It's not easy fighting a man that much bigger. I'm not saying Jake Paul would have won that fight, but at least he had some attributes in there. He does not have a single thing going into this fight. At least he had something in that fight that would have given him a chance to make it interesting. And I do think flipping from Tank to AJ so quickly and just trying to eat and get some weight on, it kind of makes it obvious that this fight is very much a massive gamble. It's not calculated. No doubt there's pressure from Netflix to put on massive events. He wants the huge events. And the fact that he hasn't been training with big dudes for months and months and months, I think that makes it even harder for Jake. Would it have mattered anyway? Who knows? But that for me shows that the people around Jake Paul are not operating in his best interest. Because surely if you're going to do this fight, all right, you're going to do it, we can't stop you. At least the coaches, the management would say, give us months and months to prepare so that at least when you get in there, you're fully equipped to the best possible ability we can make you. And yet, he's going from fighting these tiny little dudes to fighting a fucking mountain of a man. And they've just switched up. Yeah, quickly, just get a few in. Go on then. We'll make him eat a few more sandwiches. Put a bit of weight on. It smacks of just a guy who's not being managed as well as he should have. And look, if it's all about money and you don't give a fuck about your health, fair enough. But in my opinion, Jake's got a lot of money. This could have been done in a smarter way.
You think he's scared?
No.
No?
I know he thinks about it. But maybe that's just more from a point of view of I want to do well. But I don't think he's scared, though.
All right. What you think? You think he's scared?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but there's a little bit of obviously anticipation for any fight. It's no different. You're always gonna have those slight little nerves, but I find that in the bigger moments I actually become more calm, which I don't know what it is, but just thinking through it and manifesting this victory, I know God's on my side, Jesus is on my side, and I can walk into the ring with no fear because I have faith in God putting me into this moment for a reason.
Having met Jake before, he's always been a bit different to a lot of the guys in his circle. And when he says, when I get in there, I'm not going to be operating on fear, we'll find out. But generally speaking, I don't think he gets scared a lot. I think he's quite good at operating very mechanically. I don't know if he's somewhat on the spectrum a little bit in the way he's able to remove emotion from situations, but I think that will help him in his fight career. But I will be interested to see if this is different, because when you get a feel, when there's a jab or whatever comes from Anthony Joshua first, it'll be interesting to see if that composure and that mechanical mind that he's got is maintained, or if the oh shit expression is written all over his fucking face. Because I have to be honest, I don't know how the fuck I would feel getting a fucking big old jab from Anthony Joshua and knowing, shit, man, the right hand's going to be fucking hell if that one's a fucking jab. For all people have been hating on Jake Paul for a while now, we're really going to find out what the fuck this lad is made of. And look, if he gets flattened, he gets flattened. But before that bit, how he goes about this is going to tell us a lot about the human as much as the fighter. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people after this fight are looking at him going, who previously hated him, go, you know what? You got balls. You got my respect. Providing he performs how he wants to. And that's going to take some fucking big balls.
What I learned about Jake is, so when you look at the physicality stuff, and as you said, he's looking at my chest, I think Jake is someone where I got to beat him mentally because he's a mental person. This is my observation. A lot of what Jake's preparation is based around is not only the physical aspects of training, but the way he thinks, meditation, breath work. And if I can break his soul and I can break his mentality, then I've broken Jake. So this is why it's going to be an interesting fight, because I just don't look at it from a physical standpoint. I know the person that's in front of me, and I know that I got to break it. That's why I said I got to take his soul. It's not just physical. I got to take your soul in the ring.
Only person that can do that is God.
I knew he was going to say that.
Anthony Joshua has done his fucking research on this guy. As a person, not just as a fighter. The fact that AJ literally finished Jake Paul's sentence there, it's really showing, I know you. I know you better than you realize I know you. And this ain't just like a big stiff dosser, as Tyson Fury has described Anthony Joshua. Like, you know, I've been in this game a while. I'm psychologically evaluating you. And the way I've just finished that sentence, I was one step ahead of you. And that's probably not something Jake Paul was anticipating from AJ. Look at the smile on AJ as he finishes his sentence going, I knew you'd say that.
Is he fucking with your brain?
No, I don't know. That's what I was going to ask is how do you plan on doing that? Like, when is it going to start?
Because everything.
I mean, obviously in the fights it's different,
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
I mean, when are you going to start taking it?
I've just seen in fights when I can see someone's, let's call it energy, frequency leaving their body. And that's what my goal is to do the same to you. You have that instinct. You can see it. When you're fighting, you can just see a small glimmer of someone that's just about to start fading. And then you just keep exploiting that until some people give up. Some people get knocked out. We'll figure out. But as I said, for me, it's not just going in there and being dominating physically. I want to break him down spiritually and mentally.
That's cold as fuck. Let's be real here. That's one of the coldest things AJ's ever said in a fucking interview. And I can't help but think that those words are coming from the training he is doing with Team Usyk. How does Usyk beat you? He drains you in there. We've seen what he did to Tyson Fury, who is one of the more mentally strong fighters. And he keeps questioning you, and you're questioning yourself. And after a certain point against Alexander Usyk, they all break. And all of this is giving the style of fighting that he's fighting at Team Usyk is not going to be coming in reckless, you know, being stupid. I am going to give you no fucking chance at all. Meaning this time, unlike against Daniel Dubois, his hands are going to be up and he's going to be applying pressure from the get-go. And I think that that's a scarier proposition for Jake Paul than I'm just going to knock you out and say the same thing everyone else says.
It's funny because the pressure's on you. And like when I win the first round and the second round, and I think it's going to be you that starts to crumble because all the pressure's on you. I'm fighting free. The weight, there's no weight on my shoulders. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to prove anything. You have so much to prove. The whole boxing world's like, oh, here's 2 rounds or AJ sucks. The pressure's on you, brother. I'm free. Like I already took over this whole game, did everything I want. I'm playing on house money, so I think it's gonna be you that starts to be like, oh fuck it, one round, two round, three round.
Jake definitely did not like the way AJ was talking there, and this is him trying to put the pressure back on AJ and mentally clap back here. And I like where he went with it. Look, for all you might think this fight is a joke, whatever. He's got to compete even before they get in the ring. He's got to show him, I'm not gonna just let you talk whatever you want to talk to me, mate. And to be fair, there is some truth in the fact that if by some miracle, Jake Paul has a good first round against Anthony Joshua, and there's any element of self-doubt in Anthony Joshua's mind, it would grow. Because against Daniel Dubois, that's what happened. He felt embarrassed. There was points where he was hanging out the ring, flicking his tongue out of the crowd, saying, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Anthony Joshua was really in his ego in that fight. He wasn't thinking about fighting smart at all. And I can't help but think, like, if by some miracle Jake did have a good start in this fight, the embarrassment, the pressure would go from 0 to 100 very, very quickly. So, you know, as unlikely as it is, that was a fucking good thing for Jake to come out with.
What's your prediction?
You're going to be looking for the right, and I'm going to hit him with the left. That's what he's going to be looking for, the right. That's what they're training for the right hand. I'm going to be hitting him with the left.
It's the fact that AJ's just laughing and joking about it. It's just like, and some people might be worried that he's not taking it seriously enough, but I think he's behaving like someone who's got Jake, his entire game well and truly worked out. We're talking about Team Usyk here. They figured out Tyson Fury. They figured everyone out. They can figure Jake Paul out. Even if Anthony Joshua just rolled out of bed and didn't train for 12 months, I mean, yeah. He'd still do it.
What's your prediction?
I'm going to knock him out 5th or 6th round.
5th or 6th round.
Again, fairly confident from Jake Paul. AJ sort of laughing about it. I think as weird as this face-off is, knowing the level that both of them have competed at, it went as good as it could have done. And it has made me more interested in the fight, right? Like, obviously, I'm expecting Anthony Joshua to win, but there is an interest there of like, well, can Jake Paul just look decent for a few minutes? Can he land some shots? Can he show some confidence inside the ropes? And also, you know, Anthony Joshua's got a fight coming up against Tyson Fury next year, allegedly. Like, if you want to win that fight, you better look fucking fantastic in this fight. And this, for AJ, is the perfect hype moment for next year. And the issue with it is all the pressure's on AJ. Like, if he doesn't look amazing, he is going to be trashed after this fight. And yes, he'll have a lot of money in the bank. Maybe he won't care. I think he does care about legacy. He really cares. And actually, he was the one who came to save boxing when Tyson Fury let Francis Ngannou almost beat him. This is even bigger pressure. But let me know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that like button, stay subscribed to the Pain Game YouTube channel. I'll see you on the next one.